Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's segment of readings. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, just to be fair. For the tarot portion, I'm using Wild Reflections Tarot by Weispell. I think it's Weispell. And on the back here is the weispell.com. There's some information there if you're interested to check that out. I think it's a really pretty deck. Supportive Oracle cards, one of my favorite decks too. Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish. And there's a hayhouse.com website down there at the bottom below the barcode somewhere if you're interested. And last but not least, I do use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. These are from Math Art Fun. Math Art Fun is the website, mathartfun.com. It's from the Dice Shop, if you're interested. Okay, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? I don't know who's... Somebody else had the Ten of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles. I don't remember who it was. But it's kind of like, holding to the strength that you have to get the success that you very much need. You also got the Temperance card here at the bottom, making me feel like there's a lot of random energy, but Libra, I got this card over here, that's like, I got Leo on the brain. Libra can really do a lot with energy when it's a little bit random. It's kind of like, okay, it's random, I can make things work with this. Okay. We also got to be careful of people who like to share information but are more troublemaker than helper, if you follow me. In this situation, as we keep going forward, I feel like they're saying you could discover, and it's better if you do, a couple people that are more troublemaker than information sharer. Like, they share what they need to share to cause problems. And their information, it's not that they misheard something, it's that they're telling you it in a certain way to get a reaction because they like to stir the pot. Keep that in mind too. Keep a lookout for that as we keep going through this and forward. So the history of this situation, there's people who they kind of flit in and flit out is what I'm getting. I got the Page of Wands with the safe travel. Somebody is not always a part of the situation, but they do kind of flit in and flit out. And when I use the word flit, I'm thinking it's not like it's scheduled. It's not like every time Wednesday comes around they're going to show up, or every time we have this need they're going to show up. It's just like I really don't know when they're going to show up. It's almost like a place I worked, there was a person who was from an outside company that would monitor and deal with the printers. They'd come in and fix the printers, make sure they had the stuff, reload them, all the other good stuff. And there wasn't really a set schedule. You never knew when they were going to show up. They could show up when something breaks. They could show up 2 days later. They could randomly show up and just, switch out toners and all the other stuff. They were very random, but 9 times out of 10, everything worked the way it was supposed to. You just never knew when to expect them. You just never knew. And I get that kind of energy with this, even though it's kind of like we should be able to call you and have you show up if we need you. And we kind of can. It doesn't usually work that way. It's one of those energies, if you follow me. And because of this in the past, people have kind of ignored it. Whatever this information or energy or whoever this may be, I feel like people have very often ignored it. And there's a mix here too. Some people do not like this energy because of the flitting in and out. Do not like it at all, and they're just very staunch about being against it is what I'm getting at. Just like no, it's just a no, no. Other people, they use it to their advantage and they flow with it. They just kind of like, all right, they're here, great, we'll use it. If they're not, all right, then I won't. And they just, it seems like it's like hot or cold. It really does. Some people are just like, no, absolutely not, no. Other people are like, I'll just, if they show up, great. If they don't, all right, I still make it work either way. But the people who seem to like it, they get the help from that person when that person shows up. They're just not planning on it. They're not expecting it. But if it shows up, okay, that helps. I'll use it. Hopefully that's setting the stage to help you realize who this is about. I'm thinking that's the purpose of that. Because we're coming up to a point where there's a block. As in life, these things happen. Two of Swords comes in, there's a problem. So I gave that analogy about that person that showed up for the printers. And sometimes the printers would break. You'd think they'd be right over, but they might not show up for 2 days. Normally they did. It was just, I think it was once or twice that they didn't. There was like a delay, but still. We're hitting a block. When this block comes in, I feel like you're immediately doing what you need to do to fix it. I don't see you sitting around. I see you looking at it like, all right, listen, I'll just do this. I know how to do that. I'll move this here. It's almost like when we had the printer issue. We had, I think there was 5 big printers. We just rerouted it to a different printer. We knew how to do that. We rerouted it to a different printer. People had to walk a little farther. It was a printer that wasn't used as much, but we had it. People didn't like walking that far, but it worked for a couple days. It was fine. It worked. And I kind of get, this is kind of what you're doing. Kind of like, all right, this is what we need to do. I got to keep moving. Got things to do. Can't just sit here and not print things for 2 days. All right, everybody use this printer, use this printer, use this printer, okay? And we'll have one of the other people just like, every 15 minutes they'll go over and get all the printouts, bring them back. Go over and every 15 minutes we'll have somebody go over and get the printouts and bring them back. Get the printouts and bring them back, get the printouts and bring them back. We have somebody over there sorting them for the people who normally work in that area. The people who normally work in the area will have theirs. Ours will be in this other bin right next to the printer. If there's something in that bin, pick it up, bring it over here. Everybody can get what they need from what they printed. It's not the most ideal situation, but it'll keep us moving. We can keep being productive. This is how we're going to do it for now. A lot of speed. I feel like, because I'm like, why am I talking so fast? I feel like part of the reason I'm talking so fast is because like I have to get it out there and just keep it going. And I don't know if this sounds rude or not, but like if I don't give people a chance to overthink it, it seems to work. If I give them a chance to overthink it, they're going to have rebuttals and they're going to give you issues. So if that hasn't happened already, there's some suggestions to maybe try. You had a face down card. Some people, okay, what's this? The Hermit came in face down. Some people are really putting a lot of thought into what's going on here. Judgment is in question. When I say judgment is in question, I don't think that card is out here, but it basically means a card's coming up like this. It's on the dice. And when it comes in like this, you have to question, like, is it supposed to be like this or that, or is it half and half? And it's kind of like, it's not going to tell you right now. It's just letting you know this energy is here. It's going to take some time to develop. It's almost like the person that is exhibiting this energy hasn't really decided what way they're going to go yet anyway. So I'm getting judgment. Could go well and might not go well because there's somebody holding back. There's somebody watching this whole process. There's like, for example, if you like kept everything going and you move things to this other printer, somebody's holding back and taking notes and making decisions whether they thought that was a good idea or a bad idea, whether they thought there would have been a better solution or a worse solution, all that other stuff. Somebody seems to be evaluating it. And here is when that random energy pops in again. I'm getting this random energy pops in again. I feel like when this random energy pops back in, it flits back in. Everything kind of goes back to the way it's supposed to. And I feel like you actually get accolades for doing it the way you did it because it didn't create a big hubbub. It was a temporary solution. It was treated like a temporary solution. And when this energy came back in to fix it or put it back where it's supposed to go, by correcting things that were going wrong, it made it very easy to transfer it back to where it was supposed to be. So you seem to be getting a lot of accolades for that moment. And it did continue the stability that's been here for a while. Whatever stability is normally here, it did continue that energy based on the way you handled it. Is it perfect? Probably not, but it's hopefully good. When everything goes back to the way it is, ironically, then we have a problem. You'd think people would be happy. It makes me laugh. Like, things went back to the way they were supposed to. Isn't that good? People have a fit. Why? Why is a good question. I'm trying to bring down the energy because it feels like people just want to be problems, but I don't think that's, it does feel like that people just want to be problems, but it released the block. I don't know. For some reason, people don't like that this was fixed because maybe they thought something else could happen here, or they were going to, it's almost like they were trying to say, well, we can't use this company anymore. Look, we can't use these printers. So before we lose any more printers, we have to change companies. And because it really wasn't that bad, there's no need to change companies. So, and they're upset because they can't gear it in that direction because everything went back to the way it was, and it's just as good, if not better, than it was originally. Everything's been addressed. People are just wanting to cause problems. I feel like there's just people wanting to cause problems. There's just a lot of like backbiting and weird energy, and people don't seem to want things to be working, even though the things are working. All right, so when I keep feeling this energy, I keep getting that there's a problem, and it's not that there's a physical, tangible problem. It's emotional, or it's like people wanting to create problems. So maybe they're trying to give you a heads up on that. It's not that there's something to be solved. It's more that people, when people just wake up and they're just cranky and they just, if I'm not happy, why should you be happy? I just feel like it's one of those things. Is there advice for this? Well, let's see. Is there ideas for this at least? Because I feel like if you can see it for what it is, that there's really not a problem, and people are just being difficult because some people they just like to be difficult, and that's why they're difficult. Like, they get off on that. I'm getting that in this situation. And if you kind of realize what's going on here, you're going to realize there's nothing for you to fix. It's just you have to like step back and let them drown themselves out. Or people who want to participate in that, let those people participate in that, because it's a fruitless venture. Try not, I don't know, be careful with this. An idea, they're saying if you get involved and you try to create quick fixes, I feel like you're going to have to distance yourself anyway, because what's going to happen is they're going to get attached to you, and I just feel like it's going to be a very draining situation. Be aware that making quick fixes is going to kind of like, I feel like I'm getting trapped. I feel like I'm going through a maze and I get trapped in a corner. I feel like that's what goes on with that, so be careful of that. A possibility here, especially if you're seeing it for what it is, and it's not that you want to, and it's not like it's pretty to see it that way, that some people just want to be problems. Some people literally just enjoy being the problem. They really do. They just enjoy it, and that's what they live for. This can be healthier for you just to see what's really motivating somebody. Is there really a problem, or are they just enjoying the fact that they're the center of the attention because they're complaining about something? I get that if you do that, it's going to change. If you do see it, if you truly see it for what it actually is, there's going to be a whole shift in your awareness of the situation. I feel like you're going to treat the whole thing differently. Because Libra likes to make things fair. You look out for people, you kind of balance it out. Everybody should get their fair share. Everybody put in the fair amount of effort. Everybody gets their fair share out. That seems to be Libra's MO. If you see it for what it is, it's kind of like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about these people who just like to be problems. I'm not going to let that be a problem for me. That's how they want to be. Let them be that with somebody else. yes, Libra likes things to be fair, but you don't want to be somebody's target, and you don't want to let somebody use you. Because I feel like once you see it, you're going to kind of be like, all right, I need to disconnect from this. Even though I like things to be balanced, even though I like things to be fair, when I realize that this person just likes to create problems just so they can be the center of the attention, I gotta let them take care of themselves. I gotta center my energy on the people who are more here to do what they're supposed to do and get what they're supposed to get out of this situation, and center my energy on them, help them. And the people who want to be problems, let them fend for themselves. It's an idea, it's a possibility, something to consider. Sooner or later, you are going to kind of step away from this energy. The thing is, if you see it for what it is, it will probably be a permanent step away for you. Maybe they'll physically be there, but you'll be emotionally like, I can't be involved in that. Or if you do stay connected with it, and if you let it keep draining you, it'll drain you to the point where you'll just be exhausted. And you'll step away for a while because you just can't do it anymore. You'll just be drained. You'll be zapped. So it's kind of like, you could try to keep fighting it, and that's fine if you decide that's right, but it's like it's going to suck the energy right out. One way or another, you're going to have to step away, at least temporarily. It's all questioning. Like, it's all depending on how you step away. When you step back in, how is that going to affect you? How is that going to color your situation for your purposes? I feel like if you keep going with this, if you realize people are like that, certain people are this, they just like to be the problem. I hate that I'm saying it, but it's true. Some people do. They just enjoy being the problem. If you keep going that direction, you're just never going to get out of it. It's kind of like if I put them on the outside, I leave them on the outside. You'll probably pay attention. You'll hear things. Every now and then you'll spot check. Have they stopped being that type of person? And you'll see. You'll look carefully. You'll watch. You know how to look. You know how to pay attention to stuff. You'll see. You'll see how they keep doing it, and you'll see how they're doing it to other people. You'll also see how they gravitate closer to the people that they think are playing back with them. People who are willing to play that game with them, they get closer to, and they just suck those people dry. You don't need that. You don't need that. It's hard. It's kind of like I feel like you don't want to do that because it feels like I feel like you don't want to do that, but it's kind of like being willing and open to helping people who want to help themselves versus stepping away from people who just enjoy being the problem. This will, if you're able to do this and you're able to see this for what it is, the further you go with this, the more you're going to find that you're starting to kind of regulate who and how people are connected with you anyway. I do feel like could create a whole shift if you go that direction, because I'm getting the World card here. But slowly but surely, all your social circles might start taking this different feel, because it's kind of like, wait a minute, I'm not putting up with it over here. Why am I putting up with it over here? And I feel like you'll know how to peacefully gravitate people away from you. Kind of like, if people just like being the problem, I can't give all my energy to these people who just want to suck me dry because they like being the problem, because they get off on that drama. I can't allow it. I got to start gravitating those away. And this will start a whole cycle. The Seven of Pentacles comes in with it, saying that it's going to be a long process, probably through the end of your life, but you'll just continually keep gravitating people away. Once you realize, oh, no, they're a problem. They just like being the problem. I'm going to gravitate them away from me so that I don't have that as much. And for some of you, it's kind of like, I feel like you already know that some people do this, but it might be like the next level up, kind of like maybe I don't feel like I tolerate it, but maybe I have been tolerating it to a point, and I'm going to bring that down. I didn't think that was a bad thing, but now I'm thinking, yeah, I've still been playing into that game, and they keep gravitating towards me. Better things can come for you. When this energy gravitates out, when you push that energy out, better things come in. More things come in. More positive things that you want there will be there and help you do what you want to do, versus these other people just like being in the way. So keep that in mind. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.